Hello there! This video will be answers to questions that were posted on my Q&A post. We will talk about how I choose my constellations, and characters to pull, what I think about NodKrai on the 6.0 since we've now watched the live, and finally a little about myself. So Minskim asked me how my approach shaping my account was. What do I think about horizontal or vertical investing? And also Little Hungry Slime asked how I choose my constellations. So these two questions are related. As you could guess, looking at my channel videos, I'm more of a horizontal investor. Not only because I'm creating content to show the most possible characters and teams, but also because I think this is the best way to shape a balanced account, to clear any content and enjoy it. What is horizontal investing? It means pooling and investing in most of characters, while vertical investing means pooling and investing few on specific characters by preference and focusing on them. Vertical investing is not a bad thing. Of course, some of you want to invest the perfect, like your favorite characters, getting the best artifact possible and getting more powerful constellations on them, and that's perfectly fine. That way your favorite characters are the one which carry your box and all the content, and that's that's great. For me though, I feel like a gacha game is a little more fun with a big collection of characters. I like to have all the characters that are available, and on the long run, gacha is, I think, vulnerable to power creep. So the endgame content changes every update and follow a meta logic with new characters to promote and sell them. So the best answer I found to enjoy even all characters the longest possible is the horizontal investing. And not any horizontal investing, but pulling strategically constellations that have the most impact, which leads to my answer also to Little Hungry Slime about how I choose my constellations. Basically, I prioritize important supports and sub-DPS constellations. Very often, supports get good buff or defense, elemental resistance shred bonuses on their constellation too, for example. So these bonuses are very useful for all the team compositions I'm going to play with that character. For example, Arlecchino is a main DPS. I could have gotten C2 or C3, but I didn't. Arlecchino would be powerful if I got them, but what about other teams like Mavuika, Yoimiya, Gaming, Diluc? On the other hand, getting C2 on Citlali instead gives a huge buff to all of them, and also several Hydro characters. So in this logic, investing the amount of 6 constellations, for example, into 3 different C2 characters instead is, for me, more efficient. Especially if those C2 characters are support or sub-DPS that are going across different teams. So I choose my constellations by character role, priority to support and sub-DPS that goes across several teams. But of course, I also have my favorites. So I pull constellations on characters I like, on the Archons. I almost never go above C2 though. I feel like C2 is strong enough, and above would spoil my fun of the game on rotations. Also, my wallet wouldn't manage it anyway, so yeah. That's my way of choosing characters on Constellations. There are only really few characters I don't have because I feel they are not that good or simply I do not like them. And since I'm creating content now, I want to get every new ones to make videos. At least C0 and then pull constellations based on efficiency or crush preferences, like I did for Skirk, for example. I got her C2 because I really like her design and her playstyle and yeah, her kit. Next question from Muki. So it was very precise about his free-to-play box, actually, on what he could pull in the future to improve it. So I answered him privately since it was very specific, but I will give you a summary of my answer. So if you are free-to-play and you want to play meta or minimum good efficiency teams, what I suggest again is getting strong support. They will be useful longer than main DPS on the long run, that's for sure. Then you can hardly get every characters, so getting the supports that match your favorites main DPS is also very important. An advantage of free-to-play is that since you don't have the primogems to pull every character anyway, you have more time to focus on your character's artifacts that you got to perfect their stats. Sometimes the difference between an average build character and a top tier build one could go up to 20% damage or more. So it's almost as good as some constellations. With the 6.0 coming up, there is a new mechanic coming out with Lunar reaction. So Flints would be a good main DPS, even if you don't have Imefa, and he looks cool, so I think he could be a good pull. You can play him with Aino and that's good enough. On the other hand, Loma is basically a better Nahida, so she's self-sufficient as a Dendro unit in her team, so you can play her even if you don't have any other Dendro character yet. So she's very good, and Dendro will come back stronger with her, and she's a support buffer. Now you know what I think about supports, right? So Loma would probably be better than Flints on the long term. Later we have Columbina, Varka, Alice, Durin, Nefer, and more. Columbina will obviously be good, so getting Loma and then saving for Columbina could be wise. Your own preference is also to take into account because you should enjoy playing the game, so playing the characters that you like. It's also fine not to be able to clear every endgame content. Genshin is not only about Abyss, Stygian, and harder content like that. I know I make videos about this, but yeah, it's because it's the best place to show different teams and like what could be better than hard content to show how a good team works, right? I'm hyped for NodKrai, like a lot. I was not much into Natlan design and story, but I feel like NodKrai will be great and it will give me more of this fantasy vibe we once had in Genshin. It has a mech side, but the lore about the moon and the lunar reaction vibe is definitely it. So Flints and Varka looks amazing, Alice too. I'll get them all anyway to create content, but I think those three are my favorites, my go-to characters. Now, since the live 6.0 has aired, I can talk a little about the news too. So there were 3 main new features that were announced. The event that allows you to get 4 more free 5 stars on top of the anniversary 5-star unit that we used to have once a year. The Masterless Stella Fortuna and the UGC called Miliastra Wonderland. I'll start with the 5-star event. So this looks like you need to fulfill content in game or in order to achieve some progress, and in the end you can get your 5-star. I'm not quite sure if it's only Constellations, so meaning you need to already have the character, or if you can get a new character as well. In any case, this is definitely the way to buff the old characters by giving the opportunity to upgrade them for free once in a while. I think this is good and we'll be able to get stronger old units without spending primogems or money. Also, newer character will probably come into this feature later on, so we don't have to pull now in advance for a stronger constellation just to avoid later power creep. We will be able to adapt later and get for free some constellations. So this is definitely not a kit character upgrade, but giving free constellations for older characters could be the answer to make them a little comeback on the scene. Now, once a 5-star character is C6, and permanent characters tends to get high faster now, we will get a Masterless Stella Fortuna if we get them. So this item will allow us to level up characters above 90 up to 100 in 2 steps. So first will be level 95 and then level 100. So this will cost 2 Masterless Stella Fortuna. I mean, this is what I understood so far. So losing a 50-50 becomes less frustrating, because now if you lose a 50-50 on a character that is Constellation 6, you get a Masterless Stella Fortuna, and with this item we will be able to level up our favorite characters to have more base stats. And do not forget, base stats doesn't look much at first, but then every ratio, effect, bonuses are based on it. So the upgrade is actually multiplied. I really like this, although I feel like a lot of people will then look at my videos saying, oh, but you're level 100, not 90, I can't relate. But so it will be frustrating in the beginning, but it's like any constellation upgrade, right? I'll get used to it. I think it's fine. Finally, we have the UGC teaser. We can't give a precise feedback on this since we haven't seen much in details yet. But at least we've seen the possibilities of creating very various game modes like football style, first-person shooter, MOBA, race, tower defense, etc. And that's really cool. I'm pretty sure we will get very fun game mode out of this, and maybe create new kind of content. I don't know, who knows? It could be fun to play some things with you guys sometimes, maybe. Okay, so last topic, a little about myself, since one of you asked. I'm from France, but I'm also half Japanese. I have some family there and I speak fluent, so I enjoy my in-game voice line in Japanese, of course, and my interface is in French for easier understanding. Though I'm not putting it in English for you, but yeah, it's more closed than Japanese, right? You can guess the French interface. I started Genshin in February 2021, and I've had a break from mid-Inazuma to mid-Sumeru, so almost a year. But otherwise I played every day. I like Genshin a lot. It's like a solo fantasy MMORPG for me. I've always liked that type of game. I've played a lot of MMORPGs, and Genshin doesn't take too much time to play, apart from the videos I make, of course. I'm very curious how the user-generated content will be, though. It can bring a lot of new things into the game, and also for content creation. So yeah, very hyped and a little scared as well. We'll see. So that's it for this Q&A video. Thanks for watching. I hope it was interesting. Subscribe, like, comment, and enjoy my channel content. Bye bye.